Some say that it is back. They claim that the greatest predator to have ever existed never went extinct. But where's the proof? Here we take a look at the return of Megalodon triangular teeth as large as a man's hand, jaws so big they could swallow a human whole, a body so colossal that it dwarfed great white sharks. Megalodon was an incredible apex predator that took on anything it set its sights on. They would devour whales and dolphins. A single tooth was larger than a man's hand, and they had the most powerful jaws in the animal kingdom. These 70-foot-long marine predators were the kings of the oceans from 23 to 3.6 million years ago, until they died out. Or did they? People are beginning to believe that Megalodon may still be alive today. They think that somehow, in the vastness of our oceans, the greatest predator to have ever existed is still out there. While scientists claim that this fascinating beast, which once fed on full-sized cetaceans like sperm whales and blue whales, is long gone, more and more evidence keeps appearing to suggest otherwise. But what do you think? Could Megalodon still be lurking beneath the waves? Recent sightings have rippled through the internet, spreading like wildfire. But speculation about Megalodon's existence really took off after a documentary aired about the animal. The Discovery Channel released a program some years ago that captured the audience's attention and set their minds racing. The trusted channel showed incredible footage. One shocking discovery was a blue whale carcass that had washed ashore. But this wasn't your typical beach whale. This one had met a far more gruesome end. It had been sliced in half, its lower section missing, with its intestines spilled out onto the sand. The horrific image sent shockwaves through viewers. Could the Megalodon have taken on the largest marine mammal in the world? Or was this damage done by the propeller of an enormous ship? But the documentary didn't end there. There was more to come. A photo taken off the coast of South Africa was brought to light. It showed a 6-foot-tall dorsal fin rising out of the water alongside an injured blue whale. Today's largest sharks do not possess fins that tall, but orcas do. Was this the dorsal fin of an orca? It didn't look like it. The shape was wrong. Then an old archive photo was revealed. This time, not only was a formidable giant dorsal fin protruding from the water, but 64 feet behind it, a tail fin was also visible above the surface. Viewers could clearly see just how massive this creature was as it swam alongside a German U-boat in 1942. The shocked crew stared out at the open ocean, a monster just yards from their submarine. The program set hearts racing at the thought that such a prehistoric creature could still exist today. But there was disappointment just around the corner. The Discovery Channel's supposedly scientific documentary Megalodon, The Monster Shark Lives was in fact a hoax. A small disclaimer at the beginning stated that this was not new scientific evidence but more of a speculative piece with edited video footage and doctored photos. Perhaps the scientists were right. Perhaps the Megalodon had been dead and buried for millions of years. But over the years there have been consistent stories of Megalodon sightings, and they continue to this day. Back in 1918, a group of Australian fishermen refused to go out to sea after spotting something truly terrifying. While pulling in their crayfish pots, they saw the ominous shadow of an enormous shark. Not only that, but their crayfish pots began disappearing, lines, weights, and all. Something massive and powerful was taking them. Then they spotted it. Its head was as big as a shed roof. Its body was as long as the wharf on which the men stood. They watched the water bubble and boil as the creature, whatever it was, devoured a school of fish just feet from their boat. These men knew the ocean like the back of their hands. They had seen whales, they had seen sharks, but they had never seen anything like this. Fast forward to recent years when a group of scientists got the shock of their lives. While out at sea on a shark research voyage, something began beeping on their radar. They turned their attention to the screen and watched as an enormous image appeared in fuzzy red and yellow pixels. At first, they didn't know what it was. But then, right before their eyes, a shape morphed into something unmistakable, the silhouette of a shark, complete with a dorsal fin. The researchers held their breath, quickly calculating the size of the creature. It measured 50 feet long and an estimated 40 tons in weight. For 15 minutes, the gigantic shape lurked just beneath their boat. Could they have finally discovered Megalodon? Was this definitive proof of the prehistoric shark's existence? They cast a long line into the water, hoping the predator would take a bite and reveal itself at the surface. But there was no bite, and as they eagerly watched the screen, the shark-like shape dissipated. It wasn't a giant shark after all. It was a massive school of Atlantic mackerel. It seems that everyone is out looking for Megalodon. We've been told that prehistoric marine species have gone extinct before, only to find them caught in fishing nets, very much alive. The coelacanth, for example, was thought to have been extinct since the Cretaceous period, but recent sightings have revealed that they are still swimming in our seas. Could scientists be wrong about Megalodon too? Some tourists on a 6-week cruise in the Atlantic were in for a shock when they peered over the side of their ship one day. Stunning footage captured by one of the holidaymakers shows a large shark moving slowly yet deliberately toward the cruise ship. Its tail fin sways gently from side to side as it comes closer to investigate. Many who saw it that day were convinced they had just spotted Megalodon, that they had witnessed the return of the prehistoric giant. But others were quick to point out that the eerie-looking shark was, in fact, a basking shark, a harmless plankton feeder. It is the second largest living fish after the whale shark and regularly reaches 26 feet in length. Some believe Megalodon managed to survive extinction by hiding in the depths of the ocean. After all, there are vast expanses of ocean yet to be explored. We are discovering new species all the time. Could Megalodon be lurking in the Mariana Trench and other great depths? It is unlikely. Megalodon was an apex predator that relied on marine mammals and fish that live near the surface. The deepest parts of the ocean are too cold and lack the food necessary to sustain such a massive predator. Unlike the Greenland shark, famous for its 500-year lifespan and ability to survive at depths of 4,000 feet, Megalodon was not adapted for such extreme conditions. While there is no definitive evidence that Megalodon still exists, the idea is exciting to speculate about. Scientists argue that if Megalodon were still alive, we would see far more whale carcasses washing ashore with massive bite marks. Others say that a shark bigger than a bus would be impossible to miss. However, if Megalodon has managed to avoid extinction by hiding in the depths, we wouldn't necessarily see it at the surface often. Until we have definitive proof, we are left with speculation. But we must ask ourselves, how well do we truly know our oceans?